Move this here. Well, hello, welcome. I have Deb Lynch in the house here, my mother-in-law. It's the two of us because we are waiting for my husband to get here. I'm just going to move this back a little bit since it's right in our face. So today we have some a very exciting guest. We have Sujon Datta. And Sujon will be joining us shortly. Oh, I see that he's here. So Sujon just needs to ask to join us. And while he does, I want to go over a little bit of bookkeeping really fast. Sorry, I've got this weird cough. I just want to remind you guys that we do have some specials. Oh, there he is. Hold on. So Sujon is going to be joining us while we wait for him to come. Just want to let you guys know we do have some specials. Hey!
Howdy!
How are you? Welcome.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I've got Justin's mother here because he just finished surgery and is going to be running back to meet us. So she's going to fill in until we get him here.
That's awesome. So nice to see you, meet you.
Same here. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
So I just want to introduce you to people. First, we have Sujon Datta. And Sujon is an international bioenergetic life coach. You're like, yes. And you are a healer and a writer and all the above. And you breed good jujus, basically. You promote love in many different aspects.
That's
right. You promote divine love, self-love, love in relationships, and love in the world.
That's right.
You
got it right. You got it down. Wow.
I got it down. I read your website, and you got a website. SujonDatta.com, right?
Yes, it is.
And then you also have a Gmail. People want to get in touch with you. And there's ways to get in touch with you. But I saw also on your website that you mentioned besides the one-on-one sessions, you do these one-on-one sessions to really help people in 4 main components. And with mental health and with everything going on right now, it's super important. So you banish stress, you help with physical ailments, unhealthy habits, and energetic blocks. Uh-oh. Can you get that? So I think my man's out here.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's a very holistic approach in what I do. Yeah, because if you can't really solve one area and not help the other. So it's really a full-on mind, body, and soul or spirit. So that's been my approach.
And so you helped us a lot. I will admit it. We needed Sujon when my whole family was just under a lot of stress.
Justin, it's been so long. Miss you guys. I miss both of you so much.
I know. Are you in LA or are you still in Toronto? Where are you at?
I'm still in Toronto. I'm going to be coming back in the end of February. And it'll be a shorter visit because I have to go back to take care of stuff. And then I'll be back to help take care of my mother who's in Toronto. And that's what I've been doing is going back and forth. So.
Can you get it? You gotta move her here, huh?
Yeah, we just moved his mother here because it's easy.
My mom lives with us now, so that's what I'm saying. As you know, I've already hit you up and say once you get back in town, you're gonna be in this room
we
again.
need your services again.
I'll be back. First week of March. I'm all yours.
All right, awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about what you do for people and how you help them, and just tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well,
and it's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's typically a one-on-one session if they want to work with me personally. I do workshops and I do seminars and I do a thing called a healing party, all those great things. And I'm really actually moving a lot of my stuff online. I'm a distance healer as well, to put a label on it, so I can do these things online. Energy travels through space, and I can help people with the work I do. So in a nutshell, in the first half of the session, it's really about creating an awareness. If you don't know what to change, how are you going to change? Right. And so the premise is it's really a pronged process. It's like, what do you want to focus on? What do you want to change? Then what are the blocks? What's getting in the way? And there's fears, there's all kinds of issues. And then the third component is where I do the energy work, if you will. I'm a certified pranic healer. I've been doing this. I've been certified for about 18 years plus. And then I offer tools, and I self-reflective questions, and we're trying to create some sort of pattern or ritual for people to kind of build their muscle. You can't just go into the gym and blow on your thumb and then you got muscles. You got to actually do the work, and I think this is where people kind of misinterpret this work, because it is an investment towards their inner world, because our outer reality has everything to do with our inner reality. So it's really finding out what is getting in the way of the joy that people want to experience and whatever they want to create. So in a session, the first half we usually talk, and I do a lot of listening. And as the person is speaking, I'm able to read energies off their bodies. There's the 7 main chakras, but the eyes actually tell me everything. I just have this gift. I don't know how to explain it. And it's not iridology, and you guys have both experienced it. So, it's really intuition, if you will. And I can kind of scan, and as you're talking, I can find out, oh, there's the block right there. There's a block right there. And so I'm seeing that. I don't see color, but I see, let's call it the grayscale spectrum. And so with that information at hand and what you're actually conveying, I'm really a mirror. You're the healers, and I'm simply the facilitator. I'm the guide. And we are uncovering the core issues, the root issues of whatever is going on in your life to forever. Because once you're aware of something, you'll never go back to the same patterns.
Well,
I mean, well, you'll do those patterns, but you'll also be aware that this is the pattern versus living unconsciously throughout. So, but again, it takes practice.
Did you learn this from, because you're a relative of the famous Yogananda? He is
Name
your
dropping.
Well, he's your great uncle, correct?
Yes. So,
you were related to his sister.
Yeah, Roma.
Yes.
Yeah. His eldest sister's name is Roma, and my dad's grandmother. So my great grandmother was Roma, and yeah, I've.
And didn't he teach you? Didn't he teach you kind of everything?
No, he had passed away before I was even born.
Oh, okay.
But I have a couple of other gurus, if you will, and on my mother's side, there's a beautiful guru named Mohananda Brahmachari. I know it's a lot.
It is.
who actually taught me. I started meditating at the age of 13. So.
Wow.
I'm 93, and after the work you guys have done on my face, but no, I've been meditating about 40 years, and I just love the human condition. I love personal development, and even though I went to school I was going to be a geneticist. I have my honors BSc and all that, and then I went to the corporate world and all that. My heart has been really a focus on helping people really living their highest potential, if you will. So I've studied all kinds of stuff and under a lot of different teachers. Bioenergetics is obviously, I'm a pranic healer, but bioenergetics is adding the science component to what the yogis and the sages have been talking about for centuries. And the pranic healing is really about, it's an energy healing using the chakra system, which is a combination of Indian and Chinese philosophies. And so that's what I utilize. But as far as information, it's Eastern and Western philosophies together. I've studied NLP, psychology, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm pretty well rounded that way. Mm-hmm. But the gift is really the intuition, the mojo that runs through me, if you will.
Yeah. And talk about the chakras. You said that there's, what, 7?
There's 7 chakras.
Can you go over them? Where are they? What do they mean? What do you feel from each of them? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, each one has a theme, and the 7 chakras starts. Let's start at the bottom, at the base of your spine, which is known as the base or root chakra, which is really about safety, security, home, even a little bit of money. And then the second chakra is known as a sacral or sex chakra, right above your groin. So these are invisible wheels, by the way.
Now we're talking.
And the major themes on that is sex, passion, enthusiasm, creativity. It's our sense of worth, self-esteem. And that's blocked on a lot of people. And then we should go over that next time.
Yeah. I'm blocking this one. I'm blocking. Yeah.
Sure.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
And then the third chakra is in the center, if you will. It's the solar plexus, and that's about your will. It's your confidence. It's your manifestation center. It's the energy that goes out into the world, really, to say, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. You know, I have the ability to. And then we get to the heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra, yes, it's love. It's about, compassion, kindness, sharing, but it's really about self-understanding. See, the heart is a connection to the soul. It's the bridge to the soul. The soul has the information that you need to kind of manifest or get to your purpose, the meaning of why you're here, the lessons you're here to learn. That component, or the higher self, or I'm sure you've heard that before. Mm-hmm. That's a connection. So it's actually a neutral chakra. The lower chakras are known as feminine chakras, and the upper chakras are masculine. I won't get into very much more detail. I know this is not a workshop per se. And then there's the throat chakra. And by the way, each chakra is connected physically, if you will, to an endocrine gland. So going back to the base is connected to your kidneys, for instance, and adrenal glands. The second chakra to obviously your sexual, ovaries and testicles. The solar plexus is
like your gut,
pancreas, liver, etc. What do you call that? Spleen. God, I almost forgot. And then the heart is the thymus. The throat is the thyroid. So throat is about communication, self-expression. It's about being honest with yourself first. So when we see disruptions in the thyroid, there's usually too much energy or lack of energy. So hypo or hyperthyroidism is a big problem in our society, because we hold on to so much stuff, and then it creeps into the neck, into the shoulders, and we have issues in the upper back, just above the heart even. Anyway, and the jaw. A lot of TMJ is associated with what you are not expressing. So people get,
So if I have this weird cough that I can't shake, is that because I'm lying to myself?
The cough is actually happening in your chest.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
But
But...
endocrine glands,
Yeah, I know. But...
So the cough is
not COVID. That's all I know.
It's not always COVID either.
Yeah,
right?
That's not COVID.
Right.
Then there's the third eye, which is known as the ajna, which is crucial. This is where the imagination happens. This is where the information that we get from the higher realms, if you believe in that, the infinite space, God, whatever, that information is coming at you through the crown chakra, which is on the top of your head. And then that lands like a screen here. And that is associated with both the pituitary gland, the master gland. You guys are doctors, so you guys know what I'm talking about.
So would you say Justin's got 5 eyes now? Because he's got 4 eyes right there.
Yeah. Well, I have glasses too now. I use UV, so join in the club.
Right.
So yeah, so there's all these themes. So when we're meditating in particular, meditation to me is absolutely the most valuable tool we have, and it's about going deeper and deeper and deeper into who we are. It never ends in how we are expanding and what we're creating, how we're growing. So people, I have clients that work with me for years, and they're just going deeper and deeper. They've solved some issues. We all are going to have challenges, by the way, and it never ends. It's just we're getting masterful in who we are and what we want to become and what we want to emanate. Everything is communication. So just like cells communicate with each other inside our bodies, we are communicating with each other with our receptors and our hormones or whatever the light. So that's
so to do this virtually and to connect with people virtually, do you require certain things? Would you rather have them on a computer versus a phone? Would you rather have them on a certain program? Like, how do you still feel? Because I know with us, you were feeling energy around us. You still feel that through the computer?
I do. Back in the day when I was first starting, pre all this stuff, I was using the phone.
Yeah.
And so I would go into that space and really be able to feel, just using my hands, what's getting blocked. So I don't necessarily need to see you face to face in order to make the changes or the shifts. Essentially, I'm releasing the blocks, if you will, of the energies that are kind of stuck, dense energies. And typically we build up these energies because of the emotions that we have. I mean, because we're all energy beings, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. We've heard that quote, I'm sure, 5 million times. But it's true. And quantum physics, thanks to quantum physics, we're learning a lot about the stuff that has been utilized over centuries, and now it's being proven scientifically, where it's meditation, yoga, you name it, exercise, nature walks, all this stuff. I mean, it's all about energy. So all the universal principles, the scientific principles, physical laws apply to us. So there's the law of attraction, which we've all heard about, a lot of people have heard about. But there's also law of cause and effect. There's a law of vibration. It goes on and on and on. So, I'm able to feel that energy, that vibration, and that's how I kind of shift the energies, utilizing what I'm feeling, and then I'm also expressing that to you. Like when you guys had sessions with me, I would ask you, "What are you feeling? Are you feeling?" And typically the first thing I work on is the heart. And you tell me, what did you feel? Did you feel like it was lighter in your chest? Were you able to breathe deeper? What was your experience, for instance?
Yeah, at first I think it was, I wasn't breathing as deeply, but then I started noticing it getting lighter and getting lighter, and then, feel a sense of relief after.
Right.
Tyler felt everything, remember?
Yeah. I love that. I think about that. When Tyler was like, "Yeah, he feels everything." I was like, "That's beautiful." That's like, I had many sessions with you, and as you know, I'm not so much of a mystic guy, right? I'm not really religious, and so for something to be not so tangible is not so much my thing, right? Naturally. I wasn't against you coming, because Sarah's the one that kind of found you through actually one of our patients. I was open to it because we had some things going on in our life that hell, I would take anything to just kind of go over. But honestly, like you just made me feel good, right? If I just kind of put it all in one thing, I just felt good with you. And it was, I think, a combination of the way you listen, the way you talk, the way you kind of process what I say, and you just give good advice. It's not like, oh, you should do that or you should. You just kind of interpreted a little bit of what I was saying back to you, and I remember us like when we first met, you asked me about my third eye and like what was it doing, and I felt like it was all over the place. Like I closed my eyes and I was just like, shit, man, it's all over, right? And as we got through it, it calmed down, and like it wasn't something I was trying to convince myself, because there was other times you asked me, like, hey, do you feel it? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like for other things, right? Because I was just being honest. But with that I could close, and I just felt it eventually I felt like it was all over, and then it felt like it was just kind of honing in.
Yeah.
And with that came just
Inner peace.
Inner peace. Yeah. And there's better ways to deal with things. And I feel like I've been better ever since I met you, honestly. I mean, we all have our ups and downs, but in general, like, I kind of crossed over into another, a better place, and kind of been able to maintain that.
You fixed it, Sujon.
Well, thank you. Yeah, but again, you're the healer, so it's because you created the awareness of what those issues were that were causing the we'll call it whatever, anxiety or depression for people is typical, and chaos. So when I go into the third eye, I have this technique that I kind of go in there. It's like taking a stick in a bicycle, the spokes, and I put a stick in there, so that, people take years and years and years to come to a place where they can silence the mind, if you will. So this is a perfect, well, okay. I don't want to be arrogant about it, but it works. It totally shuts this down, even for a minute. So it kind of resets so that you can take the information and do something with it. And then now you have a nice, easy flow highway, if you will, because everything that is energy, the electricity, if we can use it, if you don't plug in, what's going to happen? Nothing's going to work.
Yeah.
Plugging in.
No
right?
power.
Exactly. So plugging in is plugging into this infinite source of energy, which I love to call love. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we'll have short circuits in our wiring, or there's a wooden block or something that doesn't allow electricity to move through. So what I'm doing is I'm being an electrician, if you will, and moving those blocks and telling you, hey, Sarah, Justin, this thought that you're thinking is causing all kinds of emotional stuff, or whatever the block may be. Because if you look at the world of cause and effect, everything starts with thought, and which is the cause, and the effect is the actions you take. And so it's so amazing when you look at this, and this is what I help my clients see, is that thoughts over time become habits. They become belief systems, and those belief systems create our emotions, whatever, negative, positive, and behaviors that we have. And then those are the actions we're taking that will ultimately create the effect. So I think, if anything, this is all about awareness. How are you being right now? And if it's not something you're enjoying, let's change it.
Yeah.
And your inner reality is going to be reflected out there. So this work is so important. And I think some people come to me one time and they feel great, and they feel that calmness that you talked about, and they find out a few things. But majority of the people end up doing 3 to 5. Some are with me for years. It all depends what you want. But if you want some answers, if you want to go from point A to point B, not to Z, I will take you there, and I can take you to Z, but that's up to you. It depends upon what you want to invest in yourself and how deep you want to go. And I've helped people with, like we were talking about earlier, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, we'll call it discrepancies or ailments. I mean, one of my proud moments, or what I feel so amazing about, is a 66-year-old who had a brain tumor, and she was given 3 months to live. And she lives in Boston, and I obviously won't say names, but she has a daughter and 2 granddaughters, and she's a skeptic, like beyond, right? her friend told her about me, and she calls me, and what are you going to do, and all this stuff. So we're talking, and she was one of those people that just didn't trust anybody. And so I said, this is what I'm going to do. And we talked a little bit, and then I could feel her resistance. And I asked her one question, and I said, why do you want to live? And she goes, what? I said, you're here right now. Help me understand, why do you want to live? Why are you fighting so much? She didn't have an answer. And then I did the energy work, okay? And she goes, yeah, I don't feel anything. And typically people in the first session feel a little bit because you're kind of blocked. You're not as sensitive. And then the more you do it, the more you're starting to feel. I don't know if you experienced that. Anyway, so then we hang up, and I thought I'll never hear from her again. And she called me back 2 weeks later. She goes, I don't know what happened, but I can breathe better. And the first thing she goes, I have a reason to live. I want to stay alive for my granddaughters. I want to experience them. I want to love them. I want to share what I couldn't share with my daughter. And then I'm not going to go into her case, but there was the reason. There was a goal. There was a focus. What's getting in the way of you achieving that focus? This is true manifestation. What do we need to put into your body to energize that and move the blocks, to raise your vibration, your frequency? So I give those tools. So she does another session, and she feels great. She calls me back 3 weeks later. She goes, I got a test next week to see what the results are going to be of the cancer. Third session, she does it. And 2 weeks after that, she calls me, and she told me she's cancer-free.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
There's no cancer at the test. They don't know what happened. And I asked her not to say that, I helped her or anything like that. I said, you're the healer. Look, if you are open and willing and accepting, I have an acronym. Everything's about self-love first, by the way. And I know I'm talking like miles a minute, but
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I want to share this. So ACT with facts. Do you remember that acronym? Kind of vaguely, you guys?
Act with facts? No.
Yeah.
No.
So it's really ACT stands for awareness, commitment, and T is truth. You're committing to your truth. See, most of our lives, we're kind of like following the Joneses and whatever our parents are telling us, society. We're following somebody else's. But once you access who you are and what you really want to create, you become freer. There's an element of freedom. You become aware, and then you commit to that, to your truth, to your self-realization. With facts, F is forgiveness. A is acceptance. C is compassion, self-compassion, especially self-acceptance. Because if you want love, by the way, or whatever you want, if you want compassion, love, respect, what do you got to be? You have to be that which you want, right? So that's where it starts. It starts with you. So C for compassion. T is trust. The biggest sham right now, I don't even know if the word sham is right. The problem that we're having with our world is the lack of trust. And we lack trust because we don't trust ourselves, because we know how we're living a lie. We've told ourselves, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and we never really do it. I'm not saying all, I'm saying there's a lot.
Okay.
And that's, so if we don't even trust ourselves, how are we going to trust the world out there? What vibration are you communicating? What are you actually expressing? You see most people are, I remember back when I was a teenager or a young man, everybody would say hi. You would actually have a face-to-face hello, and it wasn't like, what does he want? What does she want? Why is she saying, Now we look to the cement.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. Or in your phone.
So if that's the case in our world, why do you think our world is the way it is today?
And if you say hi and you're to somebody and you're with somebody else, they're like, do you know that person?
Yeah.
No, man. I just
Yeah.
We're
Why?
live.
It's what we just have to be walking the same path for a second.
Mhm.
So T is for trust, and S, it should be really a double S, is service. How are you serving? My quote is, we are created by the creator to create. It didn't say consumption, buy everything, eat everything,
Gluttony.
pleasure, gluttony. It's about service. How are you serving? Because we all want to love and be loved. If you look at anything you're doing, and I gotta just say, you guys are my friends. And I'm not just trying to promote your business because, yeah, I am, but in a little way. But you are very amazing human beings. You're kind, compassionate, loving. You're offering a service because you guys are intelligent. You guys are the top of your game, and people need to know about that. If plastic surgery or all the things that you offer is something people need because of confidence, really, it's about confidence. They should come to you because of your hearts. You both are beautiful human beings, and you really care. I've met others that are in your field that are not. It's about the money. It's about the money. Can I just say it that way?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, and you guys are innovative. Oh my God, you're teaching that. You're teachers teaching others what you learn, and that's incredible to me. But the core of you both, I love you both because you guys are truly coming from the heart, and that's the difference. It's not about competition. Again, it's about energy.
Yeah.
What are you emanating? See, there's a lot of talk about 3D versus 4D versus 5D, and I'm sick of it, kind of, because there's most of the people think they're in 5D when they're not even in 4D. And 3D is all about duality. It's about matter. It's about this world, right? And it's about me, I. To go into that consciousness level, the fourth dimensional consciousness, it's about recognizing that I am love. That's the self-realization. And then beyond that, it becomes the 5D, which is we are all love. And I don't think our world is collectively there. Mm-mm. And even in my own community, I will call it spiritual people, think they're there. There's only a handful that are there. They're legit. But, I know a lot of my clients are hearing about 3D versus 4D versus 5D. And really, we gotta stop competing. We gotta trust ourselves, and whatever we're receiving is based on the vibrational frequency that we're sending out. And if you're confident about who you are, if you're loving, respectful to yourself, if you're honoring who you are, if you are investing in money towards your own self-care, which are both of our services, then you have the ability to create something in your world that will attract, law of attraction, the life that you dream of, what you envision, who you truly are. You become grounded, and then it's like you become like a tree. After a session, most people say, I feel, wow, I'm so rooted, and this is all like flowing like a tree. Mm-hmm. And that's just after one session.
So let's talk about that for 1 second, because in both fields, it's very important. It's like you need to protect your investment. So whether it's plastic surgery, you need to diet, work out, be healthy after you get sculpted or after you get plastic surgery. You can't just get it and then just go and, eat whatever you want and have donuts for breakfast and, all this, crappy food. And then, you feel bad inside and you gain weight and you stretch everything out and all this other stuff, or get a tummy tuck and go have kids. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But with what you do, people also have to protect their investment or work on themselves beyond just what you're there to get them to a certain point, but then they need to kind of work on it themselves. So you talked about meditation or other things like that. How would somebody, once they have their sessions with you, or once you kind of help them with their awareness, what are some of the things they need to do after that to sort of maintain?
Remember, he gave us homework.
I know you gave us homework,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I want him to say
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Yeah, you did give us
Yeah,
homework,
so-
which we
And I felt guilty
which
when
we
I
got
didn't
F's on
complete it.
because we didn't do it.
I mean, we did some of it, and that's all.
Well, we had other stuff.
Yeah.
I think you just wanted to do some of it. I mean, you
Well,
didn't have to do all of it. Just start
Can
thinking.
I just throw out there? Remember my first session? I felt great. It was 2 hours. Remember, I was like, God, I feel so good. And I walk out of the room and I went to my bag and I was looking for my wallet and I realized somebody stole my wallet. Remember that?
Oh,
All of a sudden,
yeah.
I went to my phone and I saw 2 like fraud alerts of like fraud on my 2 different credit cards. And I was like, what? And I ran to go find my wallet and I realized I didn't have my wallet and someone stole it.
Yeah, I was
And that
saying,
was like
sure, it's
my
stolen.
first
You just-
session.
And all your work was
I
down the
know.
drain.
He's like, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because I was like, Sujon, I need you back. I was like, remember?
Yes, I do remember
It's in
that.
my wallet.
Yeah, it's prepaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about homework.
Yeah, so homework and what you need
so
to do.
questions are the most powerful way on any quest. You gotta ask yourself the questions. So I'm being the mirror, and I'm asking you to look at these particular work assignments, homework. It's really about understanding and becoming a master of who you are. That's the purpose of the work. Everything that we do is about mastery, so that we become resilient enough to keep handling the challenges that come our way, but faster, better, whatever. So I like to create a ritual with the person when they get there. First, you got to answer some typical questions, which is 15 things that you love about yourself. Most people can't even find 5 things. And then I ask, what do you value? Why are you doing what you're doing? What are your needs? Not wants, needs. And then I ask, where are you headed? What's the focus? What do you want to create? Give me the emotions, the feelings. Give me tangible things like, I want to create an office or a home or whatever it is. But most people, what they do is they slap a bunch of pictures on a vision board and they do that work for one day and they look at it for 2 weeks and they're so raw excited, and then life happens. But what you're trying to do is find out what those patterns are through that homework, so that you can start to create awareness, so those patterns don't happen anymore. For some people, it takes 30 days. Other people's take 60 days. It all depends on the person. And all the trauma of the years of trauma that you may have faced as a child to the time that we are seeing each other in the moment, we got to kind of unravel that so that you become clear. It's a clarity. And so to answer your question, the ritual is yours. It's manufactured by you, okay? Because what's happening along the chakra system, along in our body, we're taking this raw energy, the prana as it's known, or chi. It's going up and down our spine, okay? I'm making it simple. It's a little bit more complicated than that. But what we're trying to do as human beings is trying to elevate our consciousness as we're going up these chakras. There's themes, okay? It doesn't stop there. When you get to this level, so-called enlightenment, we're a wave. It doesn't last. It's not a permanent state. Nothing is. And what our deal is to come back down. It's called evolution and involution. When you can involute, if you will, we came in, but when we go up and then come back down, your manifestation abilities increases 1,000-fold. Because think about when you create something, it comes as a thought, and then you work through it, and you communicate it, and then you find the right environment and the right people, and then you manifest. And then you go all the way down to say, I can do this, and I have the finances, the money, the support, the office, whatever you need, and then it manifests. So the ritual has to be created by you, but the one thing that people have to do, and everybody, is find a half hour of time in their day And in that half hour, you can do 2 or 3 different things. You can read a spiritual book. You could do yoga. You can do breathing exercises. You can do meditation. There's a bunch of tools that I have. Mantra repetition, affirmations. So for the first bit, I love having people to just repeat those 15 things that they love about themselves for the first 40 days. So it goes into the subconscious mind, and that becomes the filter now. I do love myself. Why do I love myself? Okay. The meditation, even just doing 5 minutes, is hitting the pause button, and you're focusing on the breath. When you are consciously breathing, it automatically calms you down.
Now, do you teach people how to meditate? Like, what if someone's like, I have no idea how to meditate? Like, do you say, okay, this is what I need you to do for me? And you teach people when you have the sessions? Okay.
I do, even just like a quickie. Meditation, I think, has been bastardized, if that's the right word. There's so many techniques, and you got to do it the right way. No, just breathe. Just breathe and become one with that. That's
so
all.
Is it more like regulating your breathing and breathing in a rhythmic way? Is that how you would?
Yeah, and you're trying to ignore the train of thoughts. Doesn't mean it's going to stop. As you practice, it does stop. It does get to a space where you can just, like I just hook in. But I've also been doing this for 40 years, you know. But it's a practice. Just like you have a practice. You're getting better and better at whatever, techniques you use. It's the same thing. So I will make suggestions in how to start that process. And there's a lot of clients who already do a meditation practice. And, I've recorded like 10 tracks that are going to be coming out. This is going to be a big year for me in that way, because I'm launching a lot of different things, because I have to convert my business onto an online platform for right now.
And you recorded them for what? Your website or like a podcast or what?
The meditations will be sold, but it'll be found
on the website.
It'll be through my website. I'm revamping the website. There's a lot of investment.
Is it still SujonDatta.com? Okay.
It will be, yeah. And then I have an online course coming up called Supercharged, Change Your Energy, Change Your Life. So the stuff we're talking about, people can actually learn the basics, and then they can just, have the answers, and we can quickly move into what their deep emotional, physical, mental issues are, and speed up the process, quicken the process. Not that time means anything, but sometimes people stay stuck. It's a choice that we make to stay stuck. We have to take responsibility of whatever's happening. Oftentimes we're blaming others. You can point the finger. But really, there's three fingers pointing back at you. You're responsible for everything.
I'm the healer. What are you talking about?
So I help create the ritual. There's a main ritual, daily practice. And then I help people with rituals when they're stuck, when they're feeling like, excuse my French, shit. You apply this, and within a couple of minutes, you can move into a different state, different emotional and physical state. And that will help you move. Like, try steering a boat that's still. Can you even go anywhere?
No.
When we're stuck with these heavy emotional, whatever, we're somewhere else, not in the now, not in the present. We're either thinking about the past or we're anxious and trying to control. We're stuck. In order to move a boat, you gotta take a step. You gotta get in motion, and then you can actually steer in the direction you want to go. So that's the analogy I use. So I offer a lot based on what the person's need is. This is not a cookie cutter. I took a 6-week coach certification. Here I am, and it says here, right? I become a mirror to you. I'm reflecting everything you're telling me, and I hopefully am kind, compassionate, loving, supportive, because what do we all want? We all want to be seen. We all want to be appreciated. We all want to be acknowledged. We all want to know that I exist. And this is what we're doing here in the world. And as we feel that we exist, we can co-create something where this whole place can be a beautiful place. I think I'm an activist, really. I want this world to be, in a different zone altogether. And I think we've had a great opportunity in the last year, almost a year, to really self-reflect. When you ask what you've been working on, I've been working on me. Yes, I'm a healer. I've helped so many people, homeless to celebrities and everybody in between. Every human being is the same. Really, the patterns are the same. The traumas are the same. Whether you're using alcoholism alcohol, drugs, sex, TV, food, it doesn't make a difference. There's a root trauma. And all I'm doing is reflecting that and trying to, not trying, forget try. I help you realize what's getting in the way so that you can actually move and steer the direction that you want to go. And you're going from point A to point B. That I can guarantee. I can't take you to Z until you go to B. And it's about depth. It's about understanding. And that's what this work does. And it's about self-realization. Yogananda coined self-realization, the Self-Realization Fellowship. Those of you who live in LA, if you haven't gone to the Lake Shrine, which is in Sunset PCH,
So beautiful.
Right? It's so peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that place. We've been many times and taken my mom there.
We have that bowl too.
And yeah, she's looking for stuff that we bought there. It's expensive. The gift shop's expensive, but they got to pay for the rent.
Yeah.
No, but it's great. I love that place. Just
so beautiful.
It just feels good to be there. It feels better than just a park. Like something.
Right.
Is the energy? Is it just like the name on the self-realization itself is nice. Like it's about me. And I think that's what you do so well is you really help the person be the best person they are, and like peel away all those layers and junk that's all over them, or even the good stuff, like meaning the people in their lives. I remember you kind of pulling them out, right? Even it's like you removed people that were even important to you that weren't a problem, or you don't think they're a problem, right? You're like, well, hey, let's get them out because they're clouding who you are, right? Yeah. And let's let you focus on who you are, and then you can
like the family members or anybody. You were like pulling their energy kind of and cutting that energy from us to kind of allow us to be more whole in a sense, or by ourselves, rather than have all these people sort of hooked onto us, stealing from our energy.
Right.
Which I like that,
Yeah, that's an important part of the practice. Because the communication, depending on the communication, what the intention of the person or our intention is, we can hook onto each other. There's people known as energy vampires. They're stealing, even subconsciously, unconsciously. They're good friends, but they are so attached to you, which is a distortion of love, that they hook into your energy and they start feeding off of you. I don't know if you've ever been in a room where you're talking to somebody and you're getting a headache just from them talking, and it's been so long. They're stealing your energy, and they don't know it. Their intention may be even good, but and these codependent relationships. Oh my God! So when I cut those cords, I'm cutting the dense energies. By the way, I'm never cutting the love energy, if you will. Right? I'm taking, and if they're bad for you, then I'm definitely pulling all of it out. So you have the space, you have the energy. It's like doing a cleanse. It's like doing a clearing of your space. It's like throwing out the junk in your closets. And that immediately ramps up your energy. There's a flow again. Instead of like all these connections and the energy's going to all these different pipelines, if you will, cords. That is something that's absolutely important. And you know, there's a
Yeah,
lot of yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of different energetic techniques, or you know, there's acupuncture, there's tapping, there's, you know, you can go to Tony Robbins, you can go to all these different places. But what I feel with my experience is that if you don't know what's going on inside, those things don't matter. They'll come back. If you continue to deny or ignore what's going on and still stay in the same pattern, you're not going to go anywhere. So this work, you're committing to yourself. You're making an investment to yourself. Okay? And it's not expensive. If you look at the whole thing, where you go, it's priceless. See, I say knowledge is valuable, right? It's a valuable commodity. But applying that knowledge becomes wisdom, and wisdom is priceless. So, you know, how many times will I hear people say, "Oh, I know, I do this. Oh, I know." No, I've turned that to I flow. I want to flow. I want to master who I am. I want to do the best job for my clients, my friends, my family, etc. I want to be the best expression I can be. So what are the lessons? Challenges are going to happen. You're learning from them so that you can learn how to get out of them and then become better at it, and the energy will automatically start to flow from the dense energies to a higher vibrational frequency, which we call light. You know, there's different scales that people have come up with, including David Hawkins. Like, a lot of people are holding shame and fear and jealousy. Those are low vibrational frequencies. They're on the bottom of the scale. Whereas, think about it, love, joy, even courage. It's an action. It's saying, there's optimism. I'm going to try it. Is much higher on the scale than is the envy and the jealousy, the shame, guilt. Oh my God, guilt in our society, you know, is huge. But majority of the clients that I've seen, and I've seen a lot, they feel unlovable. They feel flawed. They feel that they're not good enough. They feel they're purposeless. So the stories are the same, similar. No, the stories are different, but the reasons are the same. And so there aren't very many patterns, is what I'm alluding to here. So let's change the story. Let's take the tragic story and make it into a love story filled with wisdom, filled with understanding, and sharing our wisdom with others, and how they could be a master like you've mastered yourself.
Right. And wouldn't you say it's important to see that and to head towards that positivity instead of focusing on the negative? Is you focus on the positive and you focus where you want to be and where you want to go, because you'll go there. And then I remember you said something to me. You're like, put that thing in a little boat and let it sail away, blow it away. I remember that. And so every time I think about this one thing, because there's a big stressful time in our life, we're like, put in a little boat and just let it float away. And it helped, just kind of like, it's gone,
Yeah. And you guys do have a very stressful job at moments, I'm sure. Just take a pause and breathe for 2 minutes. Remember the 727 or 737, where you count for 7, hold for 3.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Release, right? That's going to tell your body that everything's cool. Okay. The other one is, remember, we clap our hands and rub them, bring the heart to mind. And that automatically calms the mind down. You're connecting the heart to mind, because all the nerve endings of the heart are in your palms. So when you're shaking a hand, it's heart to heart. Anyway,
Yeah,
Well, so
it makes,
that's, you were doing that, and you were like bringing your, so it was, were you bringing like your heart then to our chakras? Is that what you were, because you were doing that, weren't you, like this? And then you're like,
Well, when I start, I
Yeah,
invite
yeah.
all my team and these higher beings, if you will, and then I bring them into my hands, and then I project an energy depending on what it needs, what you need rather, and I trust.
And I love how you always ended it with, I'm going to put a protective bubble around you.
Yeah.
I love that, because then you're like, I'm
the shield.
Yeah, you
The
put a
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
So everything bounces off the shield.
Yeah. So for 2 or 3 days, you'll be a little bit vulnerable, if you will. You don't want anybody to come in and start hooking into your shiny new energy. So this helps you to maintain that, and hopefully you do the homework, because we're trying to get this into our mind, heart to mind. Mind affects the body. What's happening in our society today, everything, the subconscious mind is the body now. The body's telling the mind, I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do that. But what do you need to do? Not want. What do you need to do? Why do you need to do that? Those are the values. That's going to start to move you to make even the smallest step. The first step is the hardest, but once you make it, you can make the next one, and then soon you're running.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really think that you helped a lot of people. You helped us.
Yeah.
And, for anybody out there that is having some issues, going through difficulty, having even just some mental stress or just
wanting to be a better person, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have to even be in a bad place to be with you, right?
Right.
You can be in a good place and you want to be even better, or you just want to maximize that or massage it, you know, like
Yes.
And what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? Is it through email, through your website?
I think the best way, I mean, I use the Instagram a lot, so they can personally DM me. They can email me at Sujon Datta at Gmail. I mean, sorry, sdattaboy at Gmail.
So it's SDATTABOY at gmail.com.
Exactly. I mean, most people have Instagram, so it's easy to find my name and whatever. And then my website is probably the last right now because I'm redoing it.
Okay.
And that should be done, I'm hoping, in 2 months. But yeah, and then we can set up a phone call. They DM me. We can set up a phone call. I think I put the phone number on one of my pictures. But yeah, and we can talk for 15 minutes and see what they need and book a session. I can do personal sessions when I get to LA in March. I've been doing a lot of sessions here in the summer when I was stuck here in the park. And, we go to a nice bench or whatever, and we have a conversation, and I stand in front of them and do that if they want to do it that way. But of course, online, I've been doing online Skype sessions for 10 years. So
I still want to go to Lake Shrine with you, because
Yeah,
I could just
we will be calling you.
float around the place as opposed to walk around it.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have about a minute left, but we want to say thank you. I will DM you because I need your address to send you some products. And we really thank you. You helped us a lot. We hope that anybody listening will seek your services because you really, really did help us a lot. And I know that you can help other people as well.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate the opportunity. And again, I love you both. And I love what you're doing with your practice. And I really feel the heart of it vibrationally, whether it's the new products or just, your personal, practices. There's a lot of heart and care. And I'm not just saying this for plugging, but it's the truth. I speak with honesty and truth. Whoever comes to you are very fortunate, safe, and you guys are conscious about what people get, and that's so beautiful to me. So
thank you.
Thank you for
Love you
being
too. And thank you all for watching. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.